how to look and feel 10 years younger after the age of 40. Hey guys, it's Coach Brad with the Get You in Shape and the Transform Temple Coaching Program. I'm really glad you're here. Whether you're watching this live on the webinar or on the replay, you are in the right place. As I mentioned, we're going to talk about how to look and feel 10 years younger after the age of 40. Not through extreme programs, not through living the gym, and not through another short-term reset or fix. Okay, this is what I'm going to share is a simple, proven framework that works in real life. It isn't about chasing a number on the scale, which most of you are looking to lose weight, and that's okay. It's about how your body actually functions day to day. It's about your energy. It's about your recovery. It's about your confidence. And yes, it's also about your long-term health. So my goal is simple. I'm going to share with you step by step how we help our coaching clients, our private coaching clients that pay us money, how we help them each and every month, how we help them lose weight, how we help them reverse their biological age, which essentially means feel and look 10 years younger. And whether you work with us or not, that's okay. I want to share value today. So let me share my screen and let's dive in. So as mentioned, today I'm going to give you a proven system to help you look and feel 10 years younger after the age of 40. So who is this for? It's pretty simple. Anyone who wants to turn back the clock on how their body feels and performs. Anyone who wants to lose 10 to 30 plus pounds in just 12 weeks. Anyone that wants to improve their energy, recovery, and sleep. Anyone that wants to reduce stress and increase resilience. Anyone who wants to build strength and mobility for long-term longevity. Anyone who wants to stop guessing and start following a proven system. And last but not least, anyone who wants to track progress with real measurable lifestyle markers. And who this is not for, this is people who are looking for a quick fix, anyone unwilling to follow a proven plan consistently, especially when life gets busy. Perfectionists who quit when things aren't perfect, those not open to professional coaching support and accountability to help them achieve results, and anyone who's not ready to take complete ownership of their own health and their own choices. Before I tell you how long I've been coaching or how many people I've helped, I want to take you back a moment because this didn't start as a career for me. When I was around ninth grade, my parents got divorced. And like a lot of kids that age, I didn't have the language for what I was feeling. There was stress, anger, confusion, and honestly, I didn't know how to process any of it. Well, one of the things that helped me more than anything during that time wasn't therapy or advice. It was movement. It was just exercise. So I started working out, not to look a certain way, but because it helped me feel better. It gave me structure. It gave me an outlet. It gave me something I could control when everything else felt unstable. And what I didn't realize at the time is something now I've seen thousands of times with my own clients. Movement isn't just physical. It's mental, it's emotional, and what I like to say, movement is medicine. And it's often the first place people actually tell me that they feel like themselves again. That experience is one reason why I've been coaching people since 1998. I founded Get You in Shape. I've been able to help over 5,000 people transform their health and been able to work with busy professionals, parents, grandparents, and adults over 40. This system was built through real world experience and real world coaching, not theory. So why should you listen to me and why this matters? Well, I don't coach on theory. I coach from experience. I've seen what works. I've seen what doesn't work. I've seen why motivated people still get stuck when they don't have the right structure or support. What I've learned throughout the decades is the same solution always wins. A simple plan plus accountability. Not more information, not willpower, not perfection. Just the right inputs consistently applied over time. And here's how we know it works. Over the years, Thousands of clients have followed this approach, and the pattern is always the same. Different people, different schedules, same system, predictable results. When you focus on the right inputs, results stop being random. And that leads to a very specific promise. So the big promise, well, our clients lower their biological age. They lose 10 to 30 plus pounds in the first 12 weeks. They feel younger and stronger. Improve recovery and energy. We don't just focus on the scale because recovery and energy is what allows progress to last. And then we build habits that carry you confidently the next 12 weeks, 12 months, and beyond. And last but not least, so we're not just helping you weigh less, we are helping you age better. So why does this feel so hard for most people over 40? Well, there's a lot of reasons, but here are a few. Number one, metabolism myths. Outdated advice just doesn't match the current stage of life. Chronic stress. Your nervous system never gets a break. Poor recovery and stress. You're doing too much and recovering too little. Inconsistent habits, no accountability. There's no one there to help you adjust when you need adjusting. And then just too much information, no system. I tell people you don't need more tips. You need a plan that you can actually follow consistently over time. And here's the big lie most people believe. Getting older means feeling tired, gaining weight, and slowing down. Aging doesn't mean you decline by default. The truth is, your body adapts to the inputs you give it. When inputs change, how you move, how you eat, how you recover, how you manage stress, outcomes change too. So what actually works? Well, simple, repeatable habits. Not complicated, not trendy. Strength-based training, smart nutrition timing, stress management, recovery-focused living, and yes, coaching and accountability. Our core belief is this: if you focus on results, you'll never see change. But if you focus on your choices, results will always follow. Now let's go into this. This is your chronological age versus your biological age. Pretty simple. Your chronological age is your age on the birth certificate. This cannot be changed. Biological age, well, that reflects how your body is actually functioning. So you can see here, energy, sleep, recovery, stress tolerance, your metabolic health. But here's the good news. You can't change your birth certificate, but you can change how your body functions. Now, if biological age can improve, the next question is, how do I know if what you're doing is actually working? Well, here is how we track real progress. And this is where people get stuck because they're guessing. And guessing leads to frustration. We don't guess here, we measure. We measure sleep quality and consistency. We measure recovery and readiness. We measure stress load. We measure heart health markers. We measure daily movement, and we measure body measurements. This allows us to adjust in real time, not after burnout. So what aging better really means? Aging better is not looking younger in the mirror. It's about more energy throughout the day, faster recovery between workouts, better sleep quality, lower stress load, improved body composition. Yes, that's fat loss. And it's about being stronger and having a more resilient body. And all of this is built on a simple framework. This isn't random. It's a proven program built on 4 pillars. All right, pillar number 1 is the mind. Yes, everything we're going to talk about starts right here, right in between the head, your mindset. Because before workouts change, before nutrition changes, something has to change first, which is your mindset. So the first thing is you have to know what you want. You need to be specific about the goals as it relates to your health and fitness. The second thing is your identity drives behavior. If you still see yourself as someone who can't stay consistent or always starts over, your choices will always match that identity. So you've got to change your identity. When you start seeing yourself as someone who takes care of their body, your actions begin to line up naturally. Faith anchors discipline. I always like to say never two bad days in a row. So certainly we're all going to mess up. We are going to have a bad day, but focusing on never having two bad days in a row. And these last two, your whys matter and your so that statements drive consistency. Here is where everything ties together. We are all creatures of our habits, and our habits are built by our choices. And the choices are driven by the reasons. And so, in order to change our habits and routine, guess what we have to do? We have to change our choices. So that statement is what is going to drive your consistency. What does that mean? Well, so that I can live again. These are reasons why people are making the choices to eat healthy and start moving. What other so that will drive that? So that I can fit into my clothes again, so that I can get off my medications, so that I can be fit and healthy for my kids or for my grandkids, so that I have energy to use my time and talents to serve God more, and so that I feel like doing things after I get home from work. These are just a few, but these are the driving forces behind making choices. So if you are have a goal to lose weight, have more energy, be fit, be healthy, well, those are all goals. But once you have reasons why, which here are a few examples, those are the driving forces or motivation behind making your choices. So these right here are going to be the driving forces behind you making your choices. Again, the end goal is to change our routine and our habits because it has not led us to where we want to be. So in order to change our routine and habits to get the results that we're looking for, we've got to change our choices. And this right here is how you do that. So your homework is to write your three so that's down. This is an example. You're going to have so that one, so that two, so that three. Write them down. You're going to take a picture of it, and to hold yourself accountable, you're going to send it to me. All right, let's talk about pillar number 2, which is nutrition. And I want to clear something up right away. Most people over 40 don't fail because they lack willpower. They fail because nutrition has been made way more complicated than it needs to be. So you've tried diets, you've tried cutting everything out, you've tried eating perfect for a few days, and then life happens. Well, this pillar is not about extremes. It's about fueling your body in a way that works with your hormones, your metabolism, and lifestyle after 40. First up with nutrition is strategic fasting and fueling. One of the biggest shifts that we make with our clients is when you eat, not just what you eat. As we get older, constant grazing keeps insulin high, energy low, and fat loss stalled. So strategic fasting gives your body space to reset. It improves insulin sensitivity. It supports fat loss. And for most people, it actually increases mental clarity. But here's the key. Fasting only works when it's paired with proper fueling. This is not about starving. It's just about timing. Now, there's a lot of different fasting techniques that we use in our program depending on the person, but a few are 16 and 8. This is just fasting for 16 hours and eating for a window of 8 hours. We also use 24-hour fast. An example with that would be dinner to dinner. And then we also do some 36-hour, what we call extended fast. Not everyone does all of the techniques, but those are some of the ways that we incorporate the fasting techniques to help with results. Protein first. This might be the single most important rule we follow. Protein stabilizes your blood sugar, it protects muscle, it keeps you full, it supports metabolism, and it helps with recovery. Most people over 40 are under eating protein without even realizing it. And when you don't eat enough protein, your body holds on to the fat and loses muscle. Exactly what we don't want, right? And what a lot of people don't know is protein becomes more important as we age. The next is simple meals. We don't do complicated meal plans. If your nutrition requires a chef, a scale, and a spreadsheet, it probably won't last. Well-balanced meals that include protein, carbs, and fats, meals that you can make at home, meals that you can order when you're out. Simple is sustainable, and sustainable gets you results. Blood sugar stability. A lot of fatigue, cravings, mood swings, and afternoon crashes people experience aren't from getting older. They're from blood sugar spikes and crashes. When blood sugar is unstable, energy crashes, cravings skyrocket, fat loss slows down, and sleep suffers. Our approach focuses on keeping blood sugar steady throughout the day, which means more energy, fewer cravings, and better fat loss without feeling miserable. Lastly, no extreme dieting. This is important. We don't eliminate entire food groups. Extreme dieting leads to burnout, and quitting leads to starting over again. So, our goal is progress, not perfection. Consistency beats intensity every time. All right, let's talk about pillar number 3 now, fitness. And this is where a lot of people over 40 either overdo it or just avoid it altogether. Our fitness pillar is not about punishment. It's about building a stronger, more resilient body that actually supports fat loss, energy, and longevity. The idea is we want to do resistance or strength training 3 times a week. This is the foundation. Strength training is not optional over 40. It is essential. Short, effective workouts, focusing on mobility and walking, and it should be longevity focused movement. And just a reminder, it's been proven movement is medicine. Pillar number 4 is accountability. This is where we bring everything together. Plans fail without accountability, not because people don't care, but because life gets busy. Having accountability is going to give you coaching support, clear expectations, your progress is tracked, you get adjustments based on results, and you're not doing it alone. You have a corner man or someone supporting you and helping you along the way. So I want to go over hidden factors that are going to accelerate your results. And these 3, stress management, proper hydration, quality sleep, and recovery, these are things that most programs treat as optional, but they're actually what determines whether or not your results last. When stress, hydration, and quality sleep and recovery are ignored, progress is going to stall. So when these are supported, well, that's when results start to accelerate, not just temporary, but for long term. So these are not extras. They are requirements for fat loss, energy, and aging better. So let's get into the follow the darn instructions blueprint. Yes, FTDI. I love saying it over and over because if you can do it, you're going to change the way you look and feel. And yes, that's why we say look and feel 10 years younger. So it is the simple framework everything you've learned today sits on. So strength training 3 times a week, daily movement, fasting, protein focused nutrition, prioritizing your sleep and recovery, hydration, and stress management practices. And this is when everything comes together. Structure removes guessing. And when guessing stops, that's when results follow. So let's talk about what actually happens in the first 12 weeks. You start to feel biologically younger, not just lighter, fat loss and muscle tone, increase energy. Yes, you just feel better, better sleep, improved confidence, and momentum for life, something you can sustain. The real results, you're going to reduce your biological age. You're going to lose anywhere from 10 to 30 plus pounds in 12 weeks. You are going to reduce your body fat and increase lean muscle. You're going to decrease or reduce pain and aches. And you're going to have some sustainable habits that will build for life. But here's something most programs don't talk about. We're focused on how your body is functioning. As your habits improve, sleep, recovery, stress, movement, and nutrition, your body starts operating like a younger, healthier version of itself. That's why people don't just look better in 12 weeks. They feel younger. The real win here isn't just the scale. It's that you finally feel back in control of your body and your energy. And once that momentum is built, results will accelerate. And yes, the results are real. Reducing your biological age, lose 10 to 30 plus pounds, reducing body fat, increase lean muscle, reducing pains and aches, and building sustainable habits. That's why so many clients say things like, I feel 10 years younger, or I finally have energy again. But don't take my word for it. Let me show you some real people who are exactly where you were right now. This is Siva, busy IT executive, no time for guessing, no desire to overthink. He followed the plan and got the accountability he needed. He lost 32 pounds in 12 weeks. Steve is a business coach, so he understands the value of coaching better than most. What stood out to him wasn't the weight loss, it was the structure. 6 months in, he's in the best shape he's been in 30 years, not just on the scale, but in lean muscle and body composition. Shelby here, like a lot of people, had tried everything. She thought she was a problem. But in just 12 weeks, she lost 9% of her body weight without extreme dieting or living in the gym. Derek here is an entrepreneur, busy, stressed, and pulled in a lot of directions. He lost 31 pounds, but more importantly, his markers show that his biological age has dropped. And he said he feels like a new man after just 12 weeks. Rhonda on the left, her story is powerful because this wasn't about a quick win. She lost over 90 pounds, and more importantly, she got her life back. Michael had a serious wake-up call with his health. He lost 33 pounds in 12 weeks, but what mattered most was this. For the first time in decades, he finally had a plan he could follow. I want to share one more story because this one hits on something important: time. This is Dr. Jeff. He's a dentist, business owner, husband, incredibly busy. He didn't come to me saying, I want abs. He came with back pain, low energy, and knowing something had to change. Within the first week, his back pain was gone. In 5 weeks, he was down 23 pounds. Not because he worked out more, but because he finally had a plan that fit his life. That's the difference between trying again and finally changing. That's the common thread you'll see over and over again. Not extreme effort, a simple plan to follow, and accountability. Every one of these people started in a different place. Different ages, different schedules, different struggles. But they all follow the same framework: a plan to follow and a coach to hold them accountable to actually following the plan. And that's what I want to show you next, how this actually works for you. So what you get with our coaching: a simple, proven plan, customized nutrition guidance that includes strategic fasting and protein focus, 3 to 5 short workouts per week with 1 mobility session, ongoing support and accountability, coaching guided by real lifestyle and recovery markers so your plan stays personalized, and faith-aligned mindset support along the way. And just want to remind you why coaching works. You don't have to guess. You don't have to restart. You don't have to do it alone. Coaching removes confusion, guesswork, overwhelm, and plateaus. You're also going to stay consistent even when life gets busy because you're going to have help. And your results are going to come faster and last longer with a coach. So I hear all the time, the majority of our coaching clients, they love that they just have to focus on execution, which is following the darn instructions, rather than trying to figure out everything on their own. And our Transform Temple coaching program is built for folks over 40. It's focused on fat loss, gaining lean muscle, and longevity. It's going to focus on improving your mind, your body, and your spirit. It's simple, it's effective, and sustainable. It's also personal with responsive accountability from real coaches. I've heard it a number of times with coaching clients that have come from different programs, maybe online, maybe a nutritionist, whatever it was. They tell me how we respond within the day when they ask a question is different from what they had. So just know that it's 24/7 consulting with our clients. So you're going to get a real person. You're not going to get an AI bot. You're also not going to have to wait 2 or 3 days with a question you might have. And this is the same system I just went over. It's just implemented with you along the way. And our guarantee is pretty simple. You follow the plan, you stay engaged, you seek support and accountability. And if you can honestly say you don't look or feel better, we make it right. We give you the money back. All right, this is where folks just come out. Hey, how much is the program? Well, we have different program options, and those program options range between $4.99 a month and $9.99 a month. And they depend on the length of the commitment, how long you want to be coached, and then the level of coaching support and the accountability. So this is for you. If you're tired of starting over, you want structure, not confusion, you value coaching and accountability, you're ready to invest in yourself, and you want results you can sustain. So you now have two options. Everything you learned today works. This is the exact same framework we use with our private coaching clients. The difference is not what to do. The difference is how consistently it gets done. So option number one, pretty simple. Do it yourself. You're going to use the information from today, apply the follow the darn instructions plan, the blueprint, stay consistent on your own, be patient with the process, and take full ownership of your results. Option number two is join the proven coaching program. You're going to get the exact same plan, step-by-step structure, professional coaching, accountability and support. You're going to get adjustments when life happens. You're also going to get coaching guided by real lifestyle and recovery markers. So every day we're checking your markers so that we can adjust if we need to. And last is the results that we stand behind and guarantee. So your next step. First off, I want to remind you of the tools I mentioned if you stayed till the end. So those of you following live and also watching on the replay, all you have to do is email me, Brad at GetYouInShape. Everything is spelled out, GetYouInShape.com. Email me with the subject tools, and I will send you our free Transform Temple guidebook that walks you through more of the follow the darn instructions from what I went over today. But your next step, option one, use the plan on your own, or option two, apply for coaching and support. So both are valid, but only one gives you accountability. All right, if you're ready to look and feel 10 years younger, the next step is to apply. So you're not signing up, you're just applying for the coaching program. After that, book a free discovery call. It's essentially a chance for you and I to jump on a phone call to have a real conversation and see if it's a right fit. There's no pressure, there's no obligation, just clarity. Thank you for being here and investing your time today. Everything you need to start is now in your hands. The only question is how much support you want along the way. Either way, choose progress, choose consistency, and choose to start. Make today count.